welcome to the Farmer's Wife Prep video. I'm so excited to get started on this quilt this week. And I'm so glad if you're here joining me. My name is Willow and my channel is So Many Whatnots. And I have decided this year, 2026, to do the Farmer's Wife 1930s sampler quilt and to record how I am making it. So, welcome. So excited if you're here with me. This is just going to be so much fun. So, this is the prep video. Every Wednesday, with some exceptions, I will have at least one video out on one of the many blocks in this book. Most weeks I will have more than one. And if I do have more than one, those will be on a different day. So I'll start on Wednesday and I'll have one video. And if I have two or three, they will be posted the next days. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then of course, every Monday I have my little quilting vlog where I just talk about what I'm up to that week. I show things that I may have bought, things I'm working on, just a general little yappy chat. So you feel free to check those out on Mondays. Okay, let's get started. I don't want this to be a super long video. The Farmer's Wife 1930 sampler quilt prep video. What do you need to make this quilt? Okay, so first off, you'll need the book. This is by Lori Erin Hurd, and I got mine, I believe, from Amazon. I do think they have them, I want to say maybe Fat Quarter Shop has them. I'm sure you can find them online, other places as well. So you'll need the book. In addition to the book, you will need a printer because inside the book there is a website, and I did not get these out. The book gives you free access to the templates, which you will have to print out. Okay. It looks like there's cat hair. There's always cat hair. When you open up the file to print out the templates, there will be different options. Don't print the whole entire thing. You only need the section that you are going to be working with. So if you are doing this hand sewn or machine pieced with templates, I believe it's like the first third or perhaps first half. And then if you're going to foundation paper piece or English paper piece, there is like a set for that as well. So this is half of them because I have already prepped half of them, but you'll need this. So you'll need a book, printer, some paper, 99 sheets, no, more than that. There are a few, a very, very few that have more than one page. And I want to say maybe 3 of them in the first half had more than one page. So you'll need that. Let's see, basics, the basics, very, very basics. You will need the book, the templates. You will need fabric. Okay, so this is a few different collections of 1930s reprints. You don't have to do them in 1930s. You can do them in whatever you want. I am doing 1930s because I think they're fun and they're bright, and that's what the book does. So I can't remember if I have 2 or 3 jelly rolls of different types of fabric. I have some 10-inch squares in 30s Playtime. I believe this section here is merry-go-round. These don't all quite fit with what I have here, but some of them do, so I will use some of them. I have some Bella solids that coordinate with, I think, the 30s Playtime. And then I have at least one other 30s reproduction in here, and I can't remember what it is, who it's by. So yeah, just grab a bunch of fabric. I like having different sizes. There are a couple templates that are bigger, and let's see here, compared to a sheet of paper, you know, that's a good size. So that's why I got the 10-inch squares, and also a few, these are fat quarters here. Okay, so we will need the fabric, the book, the fabric, and the templates. Now, of course, you'll need your chosen method. Mine is hand piecing, and all my videos will be hand piecing, God willing. It is a lot, and some have a ton of little tiny pieces, so we're hopefully going to be hand piecing this entire quilt. Okay, so useful things to have, and of course I will have some, you know, necessary things in this also. Let's put the book right there, keep it in view. All right, I have a design board, just a little tiny one, and you can find instructions for these on YouTube. Lori Holt has, it's Lori Holt that has a good tutorial on how to make this, and it's just batting. It collects all your little threads. Batting, some fabric, and then this is just a thick foam board. So this is not necessary, but this is really nice to have as we lay out the template pieces. And I can, well, I can't really show you what I mean at the moment because I don't have any in progress. But when we go to make them, we'll have all these teeny tiny little pieces. And it's nice to just lay them out how they're going to be put together, so we can sew a little bit at a time and not have them all over the place. So while this is not necessary, it's wonderful to have, and they're really cheap and easy to make. If you don't have a little board or a way to make a board, even just a piece of paper will help. A piece of cardboard, you could even stick some pins in, just anything helps. A piece of batting that you could just wrap around a piece of like a cereal box or something, and just have, you know, something to grab these pieces, because some of the pieces in this book, okay, I think one of them I counted over 60. So yeah, the board will be very, very, very helpful. Now, I'm going a little out of order here, but let me show you a couple more of these. So I have done a couple already, and I have shown this in a video. I just kind of wanted to get a little grasp of what I was going to be getting into, and fine tune some things. So on these, you notice I have little pieces of paper with some, I think they're called tailor's pins, but any pins will work. And what I do is I take a micron, any pen will work. It doesn't have to be fancy. I just happen to have a lot of these for like my Bible studies and stuff. I like the archival ink Great pens. And then some sticky notes. And you can use sticky notes. You can use pieces of paper. I take these and I cut them in half or thirds. What do I do? Oh, those are smaller than half. Anyways, I cut these down. I write the number and the name of the block, and I put it on here. And in the book, in the front, they are all out of order with the letters that you can read. But in the back, they are alphabetical by number. Alphabetical and by number. So, you know, the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, those are all A's. 11, 12 are the B's. And so they're just, I like to have them labeled just so I know what I have done. And if I, for some reason, need a quick reference, oh, look at that, more cat hair. Or want to look it up. My cats never come to say hi, but their hair is everywhere. I think Scotty came in all the videos I've done so far. Scotty came one time for like 2 seconds. Okay, so you don't have to label them. I like to. It looks like I also put a date on this one of like when I made it. I must have been making notes. That's not a bad idea. Oh, okay. So on that note, I will most likely be pressing almost every seam open because it's just going to be difficult to figure out which way to press the seams. This one was easy. There's 5, 6, 7, 8 rectangular pieces. So, you know, that's easy to figure out. These, not so easy. So, I have an iron and I use it at the end to press the blocks. But I also have a little roller because I find it easier to roll the seams open on these little tiny seams. You can finger press them, you can roll them, you can iron them, whatever is whatever works best for you. But at the end, I do press both sides, and it helps it a lot. So that is another useful tool that you don't need, is a little roller. Okay, let's see. I have these. Scissors. You'll definitely need scissors. These are my fabric scissors. I also have a pair just like these for paper. These have fabric on them because they're for fabric. My kids know not to grab mommy's scissors that have fabric. They are welcome to use the other identical orange scissors for anything they want, but they may not use these. Okay. You will need, and where did I put that? Oh, goodness. Here it is. You'll need some kind of ruler with a 1/4 inch. I like this one. It's my flying geese ruler, but it's the perfect size really for all these pieces because they are 6.5 inch blocks unfinished, and any other ruler just gets really big. I do have a 9.5 inch square ruler, but again, it's just really big when you're marking these little tiny pieces. So I really like this one. Any ruler, but you're going to need something with that 1/2 inch. On that note, you'll also need something to mark it with. I like the friction pens. Let's see, they're by Pilot Friction. And these, you don't use them so much for quilt tops, I've learned, but for the back of the fabric, you're never going to see it. It doesn't matter if it leaves a mark. They do leave a little shadowing on certain fabrics. But for this, you're not going to see it. So, They are heat erasable, so they are supposed to come out, and for the most part they do, but sometimes you can use a pencil. You could use whatever you want, whatever your preferred method of marking, because we will be marking 1/4 inch on all the pieces. Like I said before, pins, and we're going to use a lot of pins. I have really come to like these magic pins in the past few weeks that I've been using them. They're small and they're easy to grasp. They're just really nice. I use these and the ones that are meant for silk, which are even thinner. So grab yourself some pins. Any kind is fine, but I really, really recommend these magic pins if you haven't used them. On occasion, you'll get one that is a little dull, but no worries. Just stick that through the little strawberry on the tomato pin cushion if you have one, and sharpen it up. Oh, sorry about the extra noise. My cat is up here playing with something, rolling it across the wood floors. Oh my goodness. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. Scotty's my little troublemaker, and she's always making trouble. Okay, so I believe I have like gone through most things. A thread. I was going to use a 40 weight thread in gray, which I did use. I believe I used on these. Yeah. But I am going to use a 50 weight Aurifil in white. And there's a lot of sewing, so this should be enough. It's the bigger one. I have no idea how much is on here. But this is what I'll be using, 100% in cotton, because I'm a cotton snob. So yeah, that's what I'm using for thread. And then I have my little sewing case, which let's take a look at what I will maybe use in here. My little scissors I will definitely use. Probably not the beeswax for the Aurifil, but you never know. I really like I believe they're number 10 Milners. And I also like sharps. Sharps are really nice for hand piecing. But as for that, that's pretty much what I'll be using in my little sewing case, but it kind of goes everywhere with me. And I have pins in here already. And then Band-Aids. You can see I have a Band-Aid on the front of here. The way I hand piece, sometimes I just need like, not a thimble because it's too awkward, but sometimes on my thumb, I just need something. And I find a Band-Aid is just enough for that. So I keep some Band-Aids in there. And my son thinks it's funny that I have one on top. I also have a pencil in here, and my little pencil, this is mostly for marking my quilt tops. After I mark them, if I'm sitting and quilting, then I can just enhance the line if I need to. So that could be useful also if I run out of ink. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I do have one more thing to show you. And that is my little organization of templates. This is kind of, this is how I chose to organize my templates, okay? So I have these little bags from I don't know, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, one of those. And I decided the pieces were mostly small enough. In 50, I only have 2 pieces that I'm not sure why my phone did that. I only have 2 pieces that are too big for the bags, and that's in the first 50 of the 99. So what I did was when I cut out the templates, I put them all in a baggie and I cut out what it'll look like, and I put that in there too. So I know what each one is. Now, an easier way would be to take the sheets and put them in a binder in sleeves, but this is what's going to work for me at the moment. So then in here I have this one out separate because it's not part of the first half. So in here I have them organized by month. So this is January, this is February, and then I have March and April. And this is not set in stone because life happens, and because I may get more or less done in a week than 3. But there are 3 for each week. So week 1, I have number 20, number 1, and number 16. So if you're watching the prep video, we'll start with 16 because it's simpler, and then we will move on to one of these. Week 2, I have 7, 40, and 12. And again, I have these backwards into how we're doing them. We'll start with 12 on week 2. And then week 3, I have 44, 10, and 8, which is the one we'll start with. They're all backwards, but that's okay. And again, these might change. There is a chance that I will struggle with one of the harder ones and have to do it a few times, and it may not get done that week. You know, that's just how it goes. So, tentatively, that's the schedule, and I have them in here. And this is just what works for me. And where I'm making videos, this is just what's going to work. I think a binder with the sleeves that you can buy at like Staples, I think those would work wonderfully also. And then you could keep it organized however you would, however you want. Especially if you're doing the quilt, but you're not following along. Okay, so someone might see this video in a year and want to make the quilt, and since each block will have its own video, they might go and be like, well, I want to do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, you organize them however is going to work for you. This is what's going to work for me. So I do have a little prep video I made a few weeks ago that I am going to put in here on how I did my templates. Now, the templates are on paper. You can absolutely cut the templates out, put them on your fabric, pin them on, and cut the fabric. Okay? I'm not doing that because I feel like I will probably make this quilt a few times over the years. And so I wanted mine really sturdy. I also did not want to do just cardstock, which would have been the easier way to make a thicker template. I decided to go one step further and do a thin chipboard that will not go through my printer. This is more I would say more like a cereal box weight. So it's thicker than cardstock, but it's not like a true chipboard. And chipboard is like what you would find on like a hardback book, a hardcover book. It's a much thicker paper type thing. So this is more akin to like this. So I just wanted to have something sturdier. So I do have a little video that I made on how I did this, but it's pretty simple. You cut it out, you glue it down, you cut it out. But yeah, so I'm going to insert that video. Okay, so I wanted to pop on here, and this is part of the prep. Okay, so I have a mess here because I'm getting ready for the sew along. Okay, so when you get your book, there on the inside is a website to go to get your PDFs, which are free, and you will need those. So what I did is I printed them out, okay, just like this. That's what they look like, and there's one page for each. Some have 2 pages, but for each one. And so I'm going to just take one and show you what I'm doing here. And it's pretty easy. I'm sure you could figure this out all by yourself. But we'll just do one together. Okay, so do you want to show you why I'm doing what I'm doing? So first, I cut this out. I'm a little shaky this morning. Okay. And then I just trim it down. You can do whatever you want here. Okay, this is going to be Doris. All right, and so the reason I cut that out is I have these little baggies, and you know, I think I need to turn this off while I'm recording. Nope, maybe not. Okay, so I put it in, let me get a smaller one. I need bigger bags for some of these. But I just put it in here with all my pieces. And so I have this little thing and all my little pieces inside a baggie. Some people use binders. This is going to work just fine for me, and I will put these in order. Okay, so that's why I cut that out. So I'm going to put that in my pile. I have a pile going here because I have all these to cut out, and then I will, camera shakes. I'll just kind of get everything, together and whatnot. So anyways, see, I have this whole pile. Okay. It's a little early. So it's not early. It's actually 9:30 on a day that is not the day this is being posted, because this is a whole prep video, and I am kind of doing my prep over the days because I am still working on quilts for Christmas. Okay, so then I just cut these out like this. Okay, just kind of however you want. And the reason I'm doing this is because we're going to cut out on these lines eventually, but for right now I want to make sure my glue gets all the way to the edge I'm going to cut. So I am cutting them bigger than needed. Okay, so just cut them. Doesn't matter how you cut them, just do not cut the dotted line and leave a little extra. Okay, and another reason why I'm doing this is because I am making 2 blocks. And I may want to make this again. And so I want to save all these pieces and have them be able to be used at a later time. Okay? So we're just gonna cut them out like this. Nothing special. Cut like a toddler. Okay, there's that. All right, and then I have this, it's like chipboard. It's thicker than, oh my goodness, it's really early. It's thicker than cardstock, but thinner than cardboard. It's almost like a cereal box. Almost like a cereal box consistency. Oh, I keep knocking the camera. Okay. And then I have glue. So I am just going to take this and here is why I did a little extra. So I'm just going to glue on the back of here. And I love this glue. It is Tombow liquid glue, and it's meant for like scrapbooking and paper crafts. Okay, so let's get this on here like that. Glue some more down. And they just kind of go down. However, I'm working on this whole pile over here, and I thought, wow, I really need to get a video of what I'm doing before I'm finished making all of my templates. And then I would have to print more and waste paper, and I don't want to do that. All right, a couple more here. I like to try to use as much space as possible, but it's not always possible. My desk is a mess in prep for this because I am making some ahead of time just to make sure I am showing you guys properly how to make these. And I'm not sure if I'll do that with all of them because some of them take a good bit of time because there's so many pieces. Okay, so we have that glued on. Now I will show you how I cut them with a different one. This one's still drying. We'll use this one. Okay, so now we're going to cut these out. And now is where I care where I cut. Now I want to make sure to cut on that line really well. And these corners can be rounded or squared. They're super fun when they're rounded. Okay. And that is how it should be. Try and get that up there to the camera better. All right. And that's it. So I'm just going to cut them all out like this and put them in a little baggie that corresponds with who they are, who the block is. And that is how I'm making my templates. There you go. I will see you guys Wednesday, January 7th for the first video. All right, bye.